Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Reflections, where we've been tackling the topic, or rather having the theme on relationships. And today we want to talk about the family relationship, so the children and the parents, and as well the siblings themselves. So thank you for making the time to watch this, and we sincerely hope that you'll learn something and you'll enjoy the episode.
Welcome to Reflections.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel, and the team that we are here. We appreciate the honor that this family has been given to come and air their views on issues to do with family and relationships. My name is Steve Gitau Kariuki. I am a husband and a father of 3, 2 girls and 1 boy. And I am happy to be here. I think my kids and my wife all have different attributes. Jerry likes to sleep a lot. Kyle is into IT and motor vehicles. Ruby, as I said, is conniving. The mother is quiet, likes to keep to herself. Yeah. So that's a family.
Good morning, everybody. It's good to be here. My name is Lucy Wangari Gitau, and I'm a wife, mother to 3, wife to Steve Gitau. And attributes. I will start with Steve. Steve is serious but fun and very accurate with what the things he wants, how he wants things done. And then Ruby is sly. Kyle loves IT, as the dad has said, and Formula 1 and eating. And Antonina is quiet, maybe like me, also keeps to herself and loves sleeping.
Good morning. My name is Ruby Mbalu Gitau. I'm a daughter. Yes. I'm a daughter and a sibling. I'll start with my dad. He's very serious and very interesting. Like, the conversations we have are very interesting when you get to go into depth on conversations that you have. My mom is she's very quiet. I feel like if you don't know her, she's very quiet, but when you get to know her, you have very lengthy conversations. So, yeah. Kyle he's very popular, and I'm mostly under his shadow when but it feels good to be related to him. That makes sense. And Antonina is very quiet and very introverted, and she's someone who I talk to, and she absorbs what I say. Like, what I say does not go anywhere else, because she doesn't talk to people. Yes.
Hi everyone. I'm Kyle Kariuki Gitau, son of Steve and Lucy, brother to Ruby, and Antonina. I'll say small things about my family. My dad is very, I'll say serious, and then he's straight to the point. Yeah, he's very straight to the point. So he'll do this. Once he's done with it, he knows what he's doing next. And even if he doesn't know, he leaves that to God. You know, there's always the aspect of God. So he's very God-fearing. So is my mom. My mom's also very God-fearing and optimistic. I think she's the most optimistic person in the family. Yeah, I draw my optimism from my mom. Ruby is the smallest one. Not by size. She's the youngest. She's very talkative when you get to know her. If you're not in her circle, she's very quiet. And then my big sister, Antonina, is very, I'd say wise. She knows a lot, but keeps to herself. Yeah.
Let's get to hear from the quiet one now.
I'm Antonina Njeri Gitau. I am obviously a daughter and the sibling.
You're the first one.
Yeah. As they've said, I'm very quiet, but I feel like they're missing out on so much. I'm also very good at art, I'm just saying. But to talk about them is, I'll start with my dad. People say he's serious, but I genuinely think he's really funny. Like when we have a conversation, I end up like laughing, obviously if it's not a serious conversation. With my mom, she is so insightful and helpful. Ruby talks a lot. And I'm the one who ends up hearing a lot. But she's also she's just a sweet person. My brother is very helpful. Like if you ever want anything done in the house, you just need to tell my brother and he'll be the first one to do it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's but to the children, I want to ask before we move on to the next question. Who is a stricter parent? You also say that he's serious, but you also say he's fun, and mom said the same, he's serious but fun. Who do you say is the most stricter parent?
It depends. I'd say it depends on what's happening at that point. Because my dad is very serious about school, but he's also very open to doing other things other than academics. Like you have to be a whole-rounded person. My mom is very serious about the house being clean, you know. So there are those times, there are the places where they're relaxed, and there are places where they're strict. The places where they find more important. So they're not strict as a parent. You don't feel that strictness, but there's those.
The situation at hand.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. I think the parents, just to kick off the discussion, and looking at the family as a unit and as a unit, and being that we're talking about, I think one thing that Kyle has mentioned is that you're both very God-fearing parents. How have you instilled those Christian values to the children, and how has that born and them actually realizing that God is an essential part in their lives? Because I think for me, I've had the privilege to interact with each one of them, and I know Christian values is something they individually uphold. So how have you as parents been able to cultivate that? And what are some of the things you do at home as a family that have enabled you to build the family on a Christian basis?
Would you like to start?
Okay, so first of all, what we understand is that God is everything, and God is He's the one who makes us wake up in the morning. He's the one who gives us breath. He's the one who decides, yeah, that you're going to wake up or you're not going to wake up, and how your day is going to be. So he's a way of life, yeah. So you don't have to pretend, just be yourself. And then also we always tell them that you have to always talk to God like a friend. It's not that he's somewhere up there where he's unreachable. So he's one of us. He's just among us. Yeah. So whatever problem, whatever issue you have, you talk to him. You talk to us, yes, because we are here. We are here with you, but he's always with us. So you keep on talking to him, and also remember that no matter what, he sees you, and you just need to be honest, and be honest with yourself and with God, because you cannot cheat yourself and you cannot cheat God. So, and then also we teach them a lot about you only think about what God thinks about you. It's not about what the other people out there think about you. So I think for us it's mostly about yourself. How, whatever you're doing with your life, are you comfortable with it? Yeah. Are you comfortable, knowing that God sees you doing this? Yeah. And of course we all make mistakes. Yeah. But when you make a mistake and you realize that you made that mistake, you have to find a way how you if it is towards the other person, you find how you're going to apologize or seek forgiveness. But also towards God, you also have to find a way that you're going to talk to him and ask for forgiveness and direction. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think to respond to what Emmanuel has just intimated, for me, where I came from, is it's a big family made up of 11 siblings and the two parents. And we were born in a Christian family. I think by the time I was coming to know myself, my mother was already a saved Christian, and my father was also a staunch Christian. And therefore I started from church school, Sunday school, and gone through all that process. And it has had a huge influence on me and shaped who the character of myself is, informed my values. And therefore, as I grew up, I always cherished that the moment God grants me that opportunity to have a family, there is what I had in mind that I would really love to have a very unique family, united, God-fearing. I keep telling them that it is not necessary for one to be so religious, but to be spiritual, so that you have a relationship with your God at any given time. So I keep telling them every other time that even when you are in class and you have a challenge, probably with the homework or the exams that you're having, remember God is with you at that moment. And therefore, if you have a relationship and you're able to talk to him, then obviously that will be the time, the ideal time for you to say a few words to God, to be able to take you and to give you his favor. So in terms of probably inculcating those values, I think we brought them to church from the word go. As they were born, they obviously have some differences in age, but each and every child as they came, we were able to bring them to church through the normal baptism, get through the church school. Now some of them are in Fishers, Jerry is in the other youth. And I believe that also the church has played a huge role in terms of shaping their character, influencing their values, the ones that we have inculcated in them. Issues of values of honesty, openness. The belief that even in our house that the Christ is the head of that house, He's the unseen guest. And therefore, whatever we do, we know the spirit of the Holy Spirit is residing in our home. And therefore, whatever we do, if you have challenges, talk to your God through prayers. You can ask for somebody to intercede for you. I think we started teaching them how to play because we've already played for food. I think from the dining table, that is. I think that's where the first lesson started. And therefore, they have picked that. And for me, I'm glad that at this point in time, we have seen God's blessing in them. Yeah.
Thank you. To the kids, what's the one thing you would say, as far as your faith journey is concerned, you really admire from your parents? I don't want to preempt Kyle's because I know what Kyle would say about that, but I want you guys to just, what's that one thing you maybe see or your parents have really inculcated in you, as Dad has said, and has really stood out for you, and you are every day aspiring to be more and more like them in respect to your faith journey? Yeah, feel free to go in any order. Yeah, not necessarily starting with Ruby. But if you are ready, please continue.
One thing that I've learned from both my parents is pray. Like, I could be seated at the dining table and my dad would ask me, have you prayed for your food? Or when was the last time you prayed? And he would always insist, it's not prayer for like one time, like you only pray one time during the day. It's more of it's talking, prayer is talking to God. So it should not be like, like when you pray, you're asking God for something. It should be you're communicating with God, you're thanking Him. So one thing I like, really like or respect about them is that they constantly pray and they have hope, hope in God, and they put all that trust in Him, and that's just one thing that I really want to do with all my heart. And also, one thing I'm also reminded to do is read the Bible. It sounds very small, but like reading the Bible daily is something that I try to do every day. So, yeah, that's one thing.
Prayer. I think I'm really hearing you say prayer is something that really stands out. Okay.
For me, I think it's more of the consistency, because since I was a child, it's always been, God is there. This is my relationship with God. Work on your relationship with God, because for them, it's more of, me, I have my relationship with God. What about you? What are you doing about your relationship with God? So even their consistency, and as Ruby said, that's always something we are looking up to, because they're very consistent in their prayers. They're the type of people who will hold fast, and we always ask among the three of us, is that something we can do? But yeah, for me it's the consistency, because I want to be able to be the type of Christian who every day, no matter what, rain, sunshine, a storm, anything, I'll be able to turn to God and be like, thank you.
For me, it's the faith in God, the belief that no matter what, God is with you. That's something that's in both of them. That's where you always find them. They're saying pray, and praying is not about asking God for what you want, it's thanking Him for what you already have. Yeah, so it's the faith, that strong faith. My dad is always telling me, you have to believe, you have to have faith that God is with you and He has plans for you. No matter how bad something seems, He always has a plan for you. So what you do is you stick with Him, you communicate, you build that relationship with him.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I think even for me, being that I would also consider them my parents, it's something I'm really touched by what they're saying. I can only imagine what you as a parents are feeling, being that I think the lessons have been learned and they continue to be learned. And I think one thing Kyle told me some time back is that actually, Dad, you wake up early to pray. So I think we've had prayer from both of them, and it's very evident. Maybe he's never shared, but he's told me that's something he actually really admires in you. And thank you all for sharing that. Maybe the next question I want to ask as we sort of wrap up the first part is, you as parents, your children, they are 3 years, and they are all different in their own ways. How do you manage the individual relationship with each of them and with their own uniqueness? Do you usually know from the get-go your child is this kind of a person? And even how do you go about probably rewarding and disciplining them with their own uniqueness? Maybe sometimes you'll say something and Kyle will be like, no, I don't agree. How do you manage that dynamic? And also without looking like you're favoring one over the other. Yeah.
I think the fact that she saw them first. Always started, she can tell the differences from that stage.
Yes.
She can comment, then I can pick from there.
Okay. Yes, as he has said, I saw them first. But with each child, from the beginning, right from the beginning, when you see them, you're able to tell this one is calm, this one is, a bit more spunky, this one is, you can always tell something about the child when they are very young. So as they grew, you were able to now realize that this one needs to be, you cannot discipline, especially in matters of discipline, you cannot discipline all of them equally. Although what we did now when they were, more or less playing together, you'd make them be responsible for the other, yeah, such that if, let's say, Ruby made a mistake, I would punish all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and tell them, where were you when the other one was making this mistake? I mean, you know what's right and what's wrong, so you should be able to teach her, because we will not always be there, with them. Yeah. So, but each child is different. Each child handles maybe words or discipline different from the other. So you have to find a balance of, knowing what, if I do this to this child, if maybe I withdraw some privilege from this child, how will it be effective? Yeah? Or will it not be effective? Will it just maybe mess up? Yeah? But the good thing about them also was that all of them have been calm. There has never been a child who's been too out there, or who has had to be disciplined in a very serious way. So mostly they have been calm, and they listen, at least. I think they listened, yeah? Though the other day, I think it was yesterday, I was telling Ruby, I don't want to say things twice. I don't want to have to keep on,
repeating
because
something,
of course, when you are staying together for a long time, there's that part someone feels a bit relaxed, I'll do it, but you keep reminding them that this has to be done, and done at the right time. Yeah, of course, it's not always like that. Yeah, but you give them room, and then you also have to remember that you cannot be perfect. You cannot be that every time your parent tells you that do this, or you are supposed to do something, that you will feel like doing it. But somehow you'll have to find a way. Either you push yourself, or you just have to find a way to do it. Yeah. So mostly I'll say they are good children. They listen. Yeah, they listen. I don't think I've not had chance to really feel bad, but also what I like about them is the fact that they were also able to have a relationship with us, such that if they have any difficulty, they can come and always say, you know, I'm like this, or I need this, or I'm finding it hard. Maybe if in some matters, I may be the easier one to talk to. In other matters, he is easier to talk to than I am. Yeah. So I think they found that balance where they know where to go. Yeah. They know who to talk to, and they're never stranded when it comes to those kind of issues. Yeah.
Thanks.
I think for me, it started from what I've always aspired to have as a family, where I reflect so much back from where I come from. We were many, but we were a very happy family. Even them, they know our siblings. And we are very open. If it's a no, it's a no. If you stepped on my toe, we'll deal with it. So I was brought up in that environment where everyone speaks. Whether you are that young or that old, everyone speaks. And that is how our father also was. And therefore, even for this family, I think one of the things that we have agreed with the mother is to be open. From the word go, when they were young, you give them that space to operate, even when they are very young, so that you only spank them when it's really necessary. But you give them space to grow, to be able to expand their horizons, and you guide them. So that freedom then enabled them even up to now to be able to be open to us as well, talk to us, bring in their fears when they have those fears, their anxieties, discuss openly, make fun of these things. As the mom says, we haven't had incidences where we had serious discipline issues. As in, you have to really take that a lot and punish somebody in that sense. I think they have been. We are grateful to God because as gifts to us, they have been very, very good. Of course, there are areas we can't say that it has been straight all along. There are areas we need to be firm, but not harsh, and then you put your position. So explaining our position helped them even when they were younger to understand this is where we are going. This is what is dad's values. This is what our mom's values. And probably this is what is now the family values. I don't compromise on cheating. I remember one time actually, I don't know whether Jerry can remember, we went to Chumi at Salit, and she did do what we call shoplifting, and I didn't know.
Okay.
And we went to the cashier, we paid, then we were followed. And we were taken into the office.
Yeah.
And the guy told me, you guys have lifted something in the shop which you didn't pay. And I was with her.
Yeah.
So there were only two of us. So it is me. And obviously it was a lesson I had to pay. I think we paid 10 times. That value of whatever had been taken, I was forced to pay 10 times by the management. And I did pay, and we went home. But we didn't take it. I didn't take it very negatively. I just had to sit down with her. She was a bit younger, and understand that that's how maybe that age, of children are. And therefore, it was just for me an opportunity to teach her the values of honesty And I ended up paying the thing 10 times. So if she had picked the thing, I still would have paid, but one time.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that we have gone through, and most of the time you find, even if there are discipline issues, we have to sit down and talk at their level.
Yes.
That is, at their age, the way I would engage Jerry now, who is now a graduate, is different from the way I would engage Kariuki, who is now almost finishing, or even Ruby for that matter. The way you engage Kariuki as a young man is not the way I would engage Ruby as a young girl. So it all depends. But a lot of what has happened we attributed to our faith, and I think the whole aspect of teaching them that faith, so that then they read the Bible, they come to church, they hear the word of God, they know there is the Holy Spirit in them who is going to keep on guiding them. So that has really helped in a nutshell.
Asante, asante. I think because we'll have a few more minutes after to just focus on the relationship of the siblings, I want you as a parents to simply say one thing to everybody who's watching this about family as your closing remark.
Family is the smallest unit that we can call maybe in this world, the smallest unit, yeah? But the only thing I think so much about family is that each family should have values. And these values should be, we have to take the children as gifts, yeah? They are gifts, we're given, but we have to give these gifts back. So you have to bring up these children in a way that they are able to live with everybody, because they are not only yours. Yeah, they'll go out there and they'll have to live with other people. So they should be able to live. That is your responsibility as parents, that you should be able to make these human beings people who would be able to survive more or less everywhere and with everybody, and to understand that they have to accept other people as they are, yeah, because they were accepted as they are. So they should also learn, they should also accept others as they are, so that they're able to live peacefully. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think for me, a family is fun. A family is a refuge where if you have a good family, you always look forward to going back to that family. You always you're able to share your challenges out there with your family. They accept you for who you are. Whether you come home broke, whether you are tired, they will embrace you all the time. And that to me is quite something that is quite fulfilling. I always look forward to getting back to the house and saying hi to these guys. And therefore, as a unit, I look at it as something that is very fulfilling. It's God-given, so that you're given this. The union is made in heaven, and therefore you then have to ensure that what God has blessed in heaven as a union, your responsibility is to ensure that it is sustained. It's a happy union, and as my wife is saying, the gifts that will come out of that union, you nurture them, because it's a responsibility that God has given you, and therefore you nurture them to become responsible citizens to the communities that they live in, to the society as a whole, to governments even, because they are also members of certain institutions, so that wherever they go and whatever they do with their lives, it's worth. And always my guiding theme in all this is always, you do it for the glory of God. It's not for you, it is for the glory of God. So that if somebody sees my son who wants to become a pilot or to become an aeronautical engineer, that pilot, I keep telling him that, you know, it's not about the paycheck. It's about the people you'll be carrying. It's the people you'll be flying from point A to point B. So don't look at as yourself, the pilot in yourself as the end. It's actually the beginning. And therefore, for you to have those people comfortable in that journey, it's what will be very critical and key to you. So for me, that's how I look at family. I look at it as an institution that you can derive a lot of satisfaction. It has its own challenges, obviously, but they outweigh far much the benefits. The benefits outweigh so much the benefits. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for even taking the time and sharing with us so openly. We just want to say thank you and God bless you. And to our viewers, please stay tuned for the next part where we'll focus on the relationship between siblings. So asanteni sana.
Karibu, and thanks a lot.